You are selling this ice bath thing so much.
Well, I mean, here's so I think, yeah, like, everybody ready? You guys want to join me? And so the second day I get in, and when I dunked my body in, like, I dropped my knees first and basically brought the water up to my belly button. That feeling didn't happen in the rest of my body. Like, it had actually moved through, and I still had to hyperventilate a little bit, caught my breath pretty quickly. And at that point, there was no sense of being choked out. There was no sense of this constriction, this allergic reaction, until I started to go a little bit lower past, to basically to my shoulders where I hadn't been. And each time I hit the point where I hadn't been yet, it would come back. And so, I worked through that each day. And here was the big part of it too, was when it would come in, I had to like sit there and breathe until I could breathe normally again and my nervous system relaxed. And then that was gone the next day. And so each day I've gone in a little bit deeper. Yesterday I tried to dunk my head completely, and when I went under, like, I sucked in water because it was that same response. And so today when I went and I stayed under, and I just did really quick short dips of my mouth underwater, and same thing, I had to like bring it back up again before I inhaled, because it was like just this compulsive, like I couldn't not. And so then, got my neck under my spinal column, back of my head, really basically just up to where just my mouth and nose were sticking out. And getting to the point where today I can almost breathe normally when my head was under, but I can go all the way up to my neck now and breathe normally and not have the constriction feeling until it hits basically my spinal column. And the difference, like when I got out of the bath the first time, like I went back and sat in the sauna and just had this crazy emotional outburst, just like, like crying, and just like the kind you can't stop. It was just like, and you have no idea what it's connected to. It was just like this release. And so I've had that like 3 of the days. Each time I'm submerged in a new area, it's like just been this crazy, emotional release that I don't know what's connected to. And it doesn't matter. It's just moving it through my nervous system. And so really fascinating, right? And what I realized is that this is this feeling of I'm actually bigger than my surroundings. My surroundings don't get to push through me. They don't get to be bigger than me. They don't get to overrun me. I can actually handle this. And when we have a trauma that is related to our surroundings being bigger than us, something being inflicted on us, I think there's a real link to that. And I can't imagine that I'm the only one experiencing that. And that's why I think it's valuable to share on here is, the tool of the ice bath as this nervous system reset and this getting ahead of yourself so that you're bigger than your environment. And I feel like I'm bigger than my environment almost always, but water, like when it came to that, like it could overrun me in an instant, which I still scuba dive. I still, I've done a little bit of, I don't know if we can call it maybe surf training. I won't call it surfing. Mm-hmm. But, and again, it was terrifying, pushed under by these waves, but just like, I don't care. I'm going to go do this. But when it became unprotected, like with the wetsuit, without the wetsuit, like it just was like an allergic reaction.